Before I get into this video, I want to give a quick shout out to Ade from Boxing Talk with Ade. I was wondering where all the subscribers were coming from, and as it turns out, he actually shouted me out on his video on Tyson Fury, so a big thank you to Ade. A very knowledgeable guy about boxing. He's helped me out on this channel a lot. He's helped me out in terms of just even finding my feet on YouTube with what I need to do. We've spoken on WhatsApp before. So shout out to Ade. Please go over and subscribe to Boxing Talk with Ade if you're not already. And I want to get into this video. So I'm seeing some sources, primarily a source from a website called World Boxing News, and it's claiming that Billy Joe Saunders is rumoured to, because it is only a rumour, is rumoured to have split from his trainer Dominic Ingle and gone back to Ben Davison. The reason I say gone back to Ben Davison is because the fight, it was 2016, it was when he fought Arthur Akboff. Ben Davison was actually in Billy Joe's corner for that fight, believe it or not. And Ben Davison would have only been young at the time. I think he's only a little bit older than me, so he's not, the oldest trainer in the world. So by then maybe he wasn't as experienced. And, Billy Joe, he performed very badly in that Akboff fight, but, it was a year in activity. He was coming down from a very, very high weight. He wasn't really in the right place, I think, for that Akboff fight. So it was more down to Billy Joe performing badly in that fight than I think it was Ben Davison training him poorly. It's ironic, actually, because when Ben Davison was announced as Tyson Fury's trainer, I remember a lot of people online, obviously I wasn't doing videos at the time, but I remember a lot of people online were saying that Ben Davison is only a temporary trainer because Tyson Fury will eventually hook up with Dominic Ingle. And it's actually the opposite what's happened. It seems, though, if these rumours are to be true, that Dominic Ingle was only a temporary trainer for Billy Joe Saunders, and now he's fighting with Ben Davison. There have been videos released of Tyson Fury on the pads with Ben Davison and with Billy Joe Saunders there. Now, I know Fury and Saunders are very close friends, so that wouldn't really be massively surprising. And I know, obviously, given the fact that Ben Davison's trained Billy Joe Saunders for a fight, they were obviously, tight. They obviously had a friendship, stemming back from that. So I wasn't really thinking too much into that. But it appears that if this is the case, then Dominic Ingle really, he's lost. That's two high-profile fighters he's lost, essentially, because Kell Brook is no longer, as far as I know, things might have changed, but I'm aware he's no longer being trained by Dominic Ingle. He's being trained by an old amateur rival of his, I can't remember the guy's name. And you've got Billy Joe leaving. And I think that's a bit of a shame because Dominic Ingle seemed to bring something out in Billy Joe. He was able to keep him more disciplined, was Dominic Ingle. Because if you see Dominic Ingle fighters to come out of the Ingle gym, they're always in fantastic shape. And Billy Joe was no exception. He went from looking, okay, besides middleweight, to looking in fantastic shape, being able to manage the 12 rounds perfectly. Because in fights like Eubank, he really did he didn't gas, but he ran out of steam in that fight towards the end, so he slowed down. Whereas with Dominic Ingle, he's saying it himself that he can go the 12 rounds a lot more comfortably, and he's being taught discipline and all that kind of stuff, because that's what Dominic Ingle does try and do. All his fighters are in fantastic shape when they're in the ring. From Kell Brook to Kid Galahad, all in fantastic shape. So I thought that was a good fit. They seem to get on very well, the two fighters. Obviously, I'm not in the camp. I don't know what's going on behind closed doors. But, that I thought that Billy Joe was kind of set with Dominic Ingle. I don't know what going to Ben Davison would do for Billy Joe. Would it bring something out with him that we haven't already seen? I don't know. He may be poised to sign a deal with ESPN, as I discussed in my video today. So maybe that has something to do with it. Keep it all in house. Work with Ben Davison, work with Tyson Fury. Stuff like that. I really don't know. It's up to Billy Joe at the end of the day. It is his career. He can make his own decisions. But I thought that Dominic Ingle was a good fit for Billy Joe, and Ben Davison is a good trainer. I do think he is. I don't know. I'd be a bit skeptical about Ben Davison training Billy Joe Saunders. That's not to say he couldn't. I'm sure he could. I'm sure he could do a fantastic job with Billy Joe. But I think Billy Joe, I thought he was looking very good under Dominic Ingle. So I'm kind of surprised. I don't know. Maybe it was the travelling up to Sheffield might be an issue for Billy Joe. That potentially could be it. Or maybe maybe he stays Dominic Ingle. Maybe this is, like I say, it's a rumor and maybe it doesn't happen. But I felt like I'd make a video report on it anyway, because that is the rumour that is going around, that Ben Davison is now going to be training Billy Joe moving forward, and he's effectively left Dominic Ingle. Billy Joe could turn around tomorrow and say it's all, BS, who knows. I said I'd make a video on it, and leave your thoughts down below. Would you like to see Billy Joe with Ben Davison, or do you think you should stick with Dominic Ingle? Do you think that experiment's been tried once? It didn't really work amazingly, and stick with Dominic Ingle. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let me know down below. Again, a big thank you to Ade. Thank you again if you're watching my video. I know you watch some of my videos. If you're watching this, massive thank you. You really have helped my channel grow something crazy in the last month, so thank you for that. And leave your thoughts down below, and as always, I will talk to you after.